uh, overview as far as what it is that you're trying to accomplish with your bot. And if you're not sure of that, then just kind of what it is that your company's doing so that we can figure out, or at least a company page that you're going to have the bot attached to so we can figure out how the bot could really help you.
Yeah, well, I've actually just recently started getting kind of into bots. I've been seeing more examples and like templates online about like a restaurant. And the reason I'm interested in restaurants is because my girlfriend is head of PR for a very large restaurant group here in Los Angeles. So
Okay.
they have literally 15, 20 restaurants just here in the LA area. So I was trying to figure out how to possibly implement some of these bots for these restaurants and locations they have all over Los Angeles.
Okay. Well, that's totally possible, obviously. So
Yeah.
restaurants have a very good use for a bot. I have a demo bot for a restaurant that maybe you've seen already. So have you checked out this bot at all?
Yes, I believe I have looked a little bit at that bot. Yes, I have been to that page.
Okay. So
This is just a demo, an overall demo kind of general bot for all types of restaurants, or is it specific to one
correct.
type of meat?
No, it's
Yeah.
just a very generic bot that shows just some generic. I built this bot in like 6 hours, and it just shows some generic functionality of what a bot could do for a restaurant. So some of the things that it does, for example, some of the things that it does is whenever it intakes you, so obviously builds your list. Okay, so it builds your customer list, which is something that's really, really necessary no matter what type of business that you're in. So the first thing that it does is collects a little bit of data from your user so that you can actually segment that user and figure out what that user is likely to convert on. So it does that through a way where it gives you an offer for their birthday. So through that birthday offer, what it does is, like I said, it collects the information so that you can actually segment your users to figure out what they're more likely to convert on if you send them promotions. Now, keep in mind that I have 2 degrees in computer engineering, one in information technology and one in mathematics. I'm not a marketer. I don't claim to be a marketer, but I do understand. I do run my own company, and I'm in charge of client acquisition and marketing for the company that I started. So I do understand it basically. So this builds your list. It gives you some user info so that you can actually segment your user and know what they're going to convert on. And then it also puts them in your door, obviously, on their birthday. And most of the time you would assume, especially in a restaurant scenario, the guy that's coming to your birthday for drinks or dessert, he is not going to come alone by himself on his birthday. And he most likely is not just going to consume the free thing that you're giving him. Most likely he's going to consume more than that one drink that you offer him or more than that dessert that you offer him. So anyways, that's what it does. It goes in first and says, hey, do you want to get some free drinks or dessert on your birthday? So the user says yes, and then it says, cool, let's celebrate your birthday together. So it asks you what your birthday is. Now mine is actually June 26th, which is why that's there as an example. So this is where it collects the data that determines what it should market to you and what promotions it should give you. So for example, I'm going to say, hey, I want to get drinks on my birthday. So now the bot says, hey, I'll see you for your birthday. And now it gives you some content. This content is for the restaurant owner or the person building the bot to let you know basically what I just explained to you, why this whole process is necessary, why you want to do it. Why? Because you get your patron into your establishment, right? Where now you get him in your business, he's going to spend some money, and now you got that whole CLV thing, that customer lifetime value thing that you've just generated. And then also you know if this guy prefers drinks to desserts or if he prefers food to drinks. And we can make an assumption. If he prefers drinks to dessert, we can make an assumption that this is a younger person. This person is going to convert if we send them some promotions on happy hour or some promotions on, buy one, get one free drinks. This guy's most likely to convert there. Now,
Right.
if he said that he prefers dessert, this person is most likely a more serious type or an older person who isn't really into drinking or partying anymore. So this person is more likely to convert if you say, hey, we've got a 50% off lunch special if you come in for lunch, or things like that. If you send them promotions about food and new menu items, they're more likely to convert there than they are drinks. Okay. So now what's happened in the background is basically we've got this guy's birthday. So now we've sent that birthday to Google Calendars and we've stored that as an event. So now on his birthday, we're going to now go send him a reminder and say, hey, you remember it's your birthday, happy birthday. We're giving you free drinks, or we're going to give you free dessert. So come in today. And that's the part where it's actually going to drive that user in. Now this part's all been automated. So once this happens in this sequence, now everything else is completely automated, where you just forget about it. And now every day, as you continue to do this process and you continue to drive people in your bot and build this list, every day you're going to start sending out people birthday reminders saying, hey, happy birthday, come in and see us.
Right.
And this is going to be something that's all personal, and it's going to say, hey, John, happy birthday. And you could even, if you want to, you can even query their age, right? And say, hey, John, happy 32nd birthday. Come in for your free drinks today.
Gotcha. So I got a question here. With the Google Sheets, where you're placing this information, that directly ties into like a Chatfuel or ManyChat with Zapier, or how do you tie those into together?
Correct. That's tied in through a process just like this.
Where you just do a Zap? Yeah.
Correct. We just trigger a Zap, and then we just go in and add this person to our calendar. So I would show you the exact one that it's actually firing on, but I actually forgot whichever one that it's actually firing on, and I've looked for it a little bit earlier today, so I've got to go in and actually find it again. And then and I could have even actually possibly deleted it, because I create stuff and then delete it all the time. So this could be one that I've deleted, or it's one in here that I actually just need to go in and find. But it operates in the same way of the one that I just showed you. It operates where it just goes in, and it basically, there's two parts of it. There's the part where it schedules the event. So ManyChat sends some information to the Google Calendar. And then the second part is whenever the actual event fires from the Google Calendar, that we send that data back to ManyChat to notify the user, hey, happy birthday.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Makes sense.
So that bot does that. It also does several other things. It also does several other things. For example, your food menu. Okay, so if you want to go in and see the food menu, what do you want? You want to see some drinks. So it's going to give you a custom message. Please drink responsible. When's happy hour? And now it shows you what the actual food, what the drinks menu is.
I see.
Okay.
So basically, it's no different than in any other type of landing page. You're basically getting someone there, getting interested in the birthday offer or whatever, to collect their information, and then you would go on through the rest of showing the rest of the menu, everything, while you've already just captured their information. I'm kind of like that, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But you can also, but they can also completely skip that. Okay.
Right.
So if they're on that bot and they go in and they say get started, they can skip this whole birthday promotion and say, no, I don't want any information. So now,
but at that point, you've got them on your Messenger list, and you could basically pull that list, upload it as a custom audience, and start throwing ads at them to get them into the restaurant.
That's correct. And you don't, like I said, I'm not a marketer, so I don't specialize in marketing, but I do run Facebook ads, and I do subscribe to a bunch of marketing gurus and basically absorb their content. And now
Yeah.
Facebook you don't even have to do custom audiences anymore. Facebook has given you targeting options where you can target people who have sent you a message. So you can even without doing custom audience, you can specifically target people who have just sent you a message. Now, you may actually have to create the custom audience. And whenever you create the custom audience, instead of uploading your list, it's probably there that you choose from the interactions, because if you want to target somebody who's liked your page and their friends, you do that through a custom audience. You create a custom audience and select that. So probably in that same process is where you select that you want to target people who have sent you messages. But yes, now essentially they are a subscriber to your page. They are in your bot where you can send them out promotions, you can broadcast to them, you can ask them how they are, or even for a restaurant, send them a meal tip. Send them a meal tip that says, hey, thinking about what to have to eat tonight, look through a couple, how about a meal tip? Now attached to that meal tip, you can give them the meal tip, but attached to that meal tip, you can obviously say, don't want to cook tonight? We have this same thing, Yeah, I just gave you a meal tip for how to make ribs. Don't want to spend 2 hours making ribs? Fine, we already did it. Come in. And that will probably convert pretty well, because you're giving something of value for free. But you can skip that completely. So this person skipped it completely. Now that he skipped it, I just asked him, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to book a table, or do you want to view our menu? So if they want to book a table, they can make a table reservation right through the bot. They can go in and say, hey, I want to reserve a table for tonight at 5 p.m. for a party of 5. They can do that right through the bot. If they want to view your menu, they can go in and view your menu right through the bot. And this bot I have set up where they can even actually order right through Messenger. So you can go in and say, hey, I'm looking at your menu. I can see that you've got these mozzarella sticks. So I want to add these guys to my order. So I'm just going to add that guy to my order. Now I'll get some confirmation letting me know that, hey, mozzarella sticks was just added to my order. And he told me, hey, if you want to check out, if you want to complete your order, just reply checkout. So I'll just tell him, hey, I want to check out. And then now this guy will go in and read off my order to me and show me, hey, here's what's in your order already. You got brownie and ice cream, and you got mozzarella sticks. Your order total is $19. Do you still want to check out? Now this guy can completely check out. If he checks out, then he can even, literally what will happen once he checks out, he can even ask to get notified by Facebook. And then if he asks to get notified by Facebook, basically his order will be added to this list right here where you can see he's got a new order. And then you can go in and update the status here, and then he'll receive a message back letting him know that, hey, your order status has been updated. Like this one's mine from a demo that I did right before this one from a live training session. So I'll just go in and update this. Now, this is not something that fires automatically. This is something that fires every 5 minutes because it is this update order status right here. It's a Google's app. So this runs every 5 minutes. So you can see that's going to run. And you can see that now he just got that notification that your order status has been updated to ready for pickup. So,
wow.
So that's really useful. That's really useful in the bot. You want to book a table, then you can go in and book a table. He's going to ask you, how many people are going to be in your party. There'll be some 7 people in my party. And just ask, when do you want to book? Want to book tomorrow at 7 p.m. So now he'll go in and actually add this to a Google Calendar of your bookings to let you know, hey, you've got a new table that's been booked tomorrow at 7 p.m.
So would you send a link to the Google Calendar, or are you trying to keep them in Messenger at all times and not send them anywhere else?
I personally want to keep them in Messenger.
Yeah. Well, I've heard people doing them different ways and taking people from Messenger to a landing page, and I'm like, why would you do that if they're already in Messenger and you want to keep them on Facebook?
Correct. They're going to be on Facebook. they're going to find they're going to be on Facebook anyways. So
try to make most of everything right within. You might as well keep everything locked into the Messenger and book tables and sell the product and whatever you can do directly. And can you actually take payments directly within Messenger?
Yeah. So you can totally take payments in Messenger. Now to do that, the only way that I found to do that so far is to use this software right here that actually I built. So, I built it through Proxy, my company. So what I do in my day job, like I said, is I run a software firm. So that's where I'm at right now. That's why you see this guy right here, because he's the guy that's supposed to clean. He's the office guy that cleans the office. His name's Tapos.
Yeah, I saw a video a few days ago. I think you were walking around the office and kind of showing it around and stuff. So I saw that video.
Yeah, we're actually just moving. We're just about to move offices and upgrade from.
So where are you exactly?
This office is in Eastern India.
Okay.
So our company's based out of the U.S., but our dev HQ is in Eastern India, because it's where you, if you own a software firm, it's really where you want to be at if you want to get the most bang for your buck. So, but so we built this invoicing platform, and then this invoicing platform allows you to take payments directly in Messenger. So, like, for example, this guy here, this demo bot here, if you were to ask him like product invoice. So if you ask him product invoice, he's literally going to return back a product invoice to you. He's going to say, hey, here's a product invoice. Now, this is something that will open up right in Messenger. So the user clicks pay now. And now on a desktop, it takes them to this URL. But when they're on their mobile device in Messenger, this pops up right inside Messenger where they can make this payment, where they can pay for this thing. And then you can also do a custom invoice. So if you do make payment, this is going to actually go in and generate. You can see here. You see here, the very last item here is this paid up for advanced bot tutorials, right?
Yeah.
And there's actually probably one more there. So there is this third one. Now this one's just been generated right now. This invoice was just now generated through this process right here. So see this guy right here?
Oh, yeah.
That guy is the same URL as this guy. If I go here, you see it's this ends in MZAY, which so does this one, MZAY, because whenever you hit make payment, this thing literally shoots out to Zapier and creates this new invoice in this platform. Through Zapier, this new invoice is actually created. So,
okay, gotcha. So this is your workaround for ManyChat, but I believe ChatFuel allows you to make purchases directly with Stripe directly through using their software, right?
Correct. They do the same thing that I'm doing, is they just create a payment page on Stripe. So this is not really my workaround for ManyChat. This is like a full-blown invoicing platform. So this platform just allows you to go in and generate invoices and generate custom subscriptions and generate product pages. Like if you want to sell one particular product, you can create that product invoice and sell it multiple times. Or just if you want to generate, like for example, I use it to send invoices out to some of my clients. Like you can see, this is an invoice for one of my clients named Nicole. So now whenever she pays this invoice, I just send her this in the mail. She can go in and give a feedback on how she felt, because she pays our company to do development work. So this is like a full-blown invoicing platform. You just go in and you can create invoices for people. You can create those product invoices, and you can create custom subscriptions. But it just happens to work very well with ManyChat to be able to accept payment in ManyChat. It just happens to work.
The reason I'm asking is because my background is actually product sourcing. So I used to live in China back in 2007, 2008. Lived there for a couple of years with my business partner. He's still there. I moved back here to the States to do sales. So basically we've transitioned into selling products in e-commerce, and that's what I'm also looking at, not only the restaurant side, but sourcing products from China, basically selling them directly in Messenger and drop shipping them, taking the payments, everything, and having the product drop shipped directly and have it all happen within Messenger.
Yeah, that's totally doable, because I'm pretty sure these guys, I'm almost certain if we explore this, that they have a ShipStation integration. Yep. So they have a ShipStation integration, and that's all you really need is a well, and you don't even need that ShipStation integration if you're drop shipping, because literally all you're going to do to your drop shipper is either provide him a spreadsheet, or he's going to have some integration that he tells you need to follow to provide him the orders that are coming in that he needs to ship out. So literally all you need is that invoicing platform so that you can collect that payment.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's totally doable.
So does your company plan, to your guys developers, are you guys planning on building out like more templates like this in different industries and niches, or what's your end goal with the whole, chatbot marketing and all of this?
Really, I mean, for us, I build bots as a hobby. So for me, it's really just pretty much marketing to be able to get people exposure in our company, what we do, and be able to find people that realize that, hey, here's a whole group of people that are really client centric, and they're really, really smart people that can do anything that we need, and they have a very, very competitive cost in the market. So it's literally just for free PR for us, because we don't do any marketing. We don't have any marketers that work for us, and I'm in charge of marketing. And I'm an engineer. So like everybody that I've subscribed to that does marketing, they've told me, and it's been like 100 people that I've subscribed to and went to their webinars and get their content, get their little ebooks and stuff. And all of them have said that the number one thing that you need is like is this very valuable content that you can give somebody in exchange for their email address. So for me, it ended up being the bot training that is going to be that piece of content that will get that user's email address, and then basically establish us as an authority in one thing that will then lead to people wanting to pay us for our services for either, whether it's bots, or we don't particularly focus on building bots. It's not our focus. What we focus on is software. And actually most of our clients are other software firms who just don't want to take the expenditure of, in the US, it costs anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000 a year to add another developer on your salary, on your payroll. Once you figure in, you got to pay their salary, and then you got to pay a whole bunch of benefits that are mandated by the government. So if you pick up some project, and that project has, let's say, 200 hours of additional overflow work that you can't provide because you don't have the resource. So for you to go in and say, hey, I'm going to take on $150,000 commitment to be able to fulfill 200 hours worth of development work, it doesn't make sense. So at that point, what do you do? At that point, what you do is contact me, and then you just contract one of my engineers for your 200 hours, and you pay the fee for them for 200 hours. And whenever you're done, if you have more work for them, you start another contract. If you don't, then that's it.
Yeah.
So you can see that for the restaurant, but there's a lot of different uses that you can use it for. Just delivering, like this. Are you open? That's a really great one, right? To be able to just automatically deliver this content right here. So
the keyword would be open, like if they hours open, or if they put hours you're open or anything like that, that would set off that particular message to them.
Correct. That keyword is, are you open? When do you open? When do you close? What time do you open? What time do you close? Operation hours, business hours.
I see.
So in natural language processing, these things are called utterances, and this thing as a whole is called an intent. Okay. So the cool thing with natural language processing is that as you build your utterances, basically your keywords, the AI will go in and augment this and build its own list of utterances that could invoke an intent. The intent that you're invoking for this instance would be give user business hours. That would be your intent. Well, what can invoke that intent? Well, it's these utterances, it's these different keywords here. And you can imagine that these things can keep growing and growing, because there's so many different permutations of ways in a natural language that a user could try to invoke the intent of getting your business hours. They could ask you any of these things. And I'm sure that especially in today's world where kids and millennials and younger people, they don't have any Any value for proper English or proper grammatical structure, there's an infinite amount of ways for that somebody can ask you, are you open, or what are your business hours?
Exactly. Yeah. So, and how, I guess you would just do segmentation basically by asking questions and being able to segment, say if you wanted to segment people who are 18 to 25 or something within the bot, I guess you can it would be through questioning them, right? And then that's where you would kind of
If you're
segment
using
the audience.
If you're using an open source platform like ManyChat, yeah. Now, if you're going with the custom build, you don't have to ask users those questions, because if you're going with the custom build, then a lot of that information you can pull already from their profile. So you could already pull what their birthday is and figure out what their age is already from their profile. But if you're using something like ManyChat, then yeah. But that's the only way you can segment, anyways, right? Is really by asking users questions or by getting them to perform a specific action. But yeah, there's lots of different ways you can do that. Lots of different creative content ways that you can go in and get the users to freely give you this information, and then use that to segment them. Another thing that this demo bot does is also this. If you had a bad experience, somebody wants to report that they had a bad experience at your restaurant, so the bot will go in and actually resolve that bad experience automatically for them and say, hey, when did you have a bad experience? So that was yesterday that I had a bad experience. And he's going to say, okay, do you know who your waitress was? So that was John Vaughn was my waiter. Now he's going to ask you, hey, can you give me a little bit of information about the experience in general? Yeah, he was flirting with my wife. So now the bot, what it will do is go in and actually notify an admin and say, hey, look, here's something that requires your attention. And it will go in and give this user, hey, I'm sorry, let us figure out how to make this up to you. I'm gonna forward this to my manager, and somebody will get back in touch with you. And then it will notify the admin, the manager, to let them know, hey, look, here's a new bad experience that you need to go in and actually deal with. Okay. So it can handle those bad experiences for you. You can go in and have it handle those good experiences as well. If somebody comes in and says, hey, I just had an awesome meal there. Well, guess what? I need you to leave me some social feedback that is visible to the public. So now I'm going to channel you there. I'm going to say, oh, I'm glad
you either send them to your Facebook page to leave a review, or send them to Yelp to leave a review.
Google, Yelp. I'm going to send you somewhere to go in and leave that review visible. And because that's going to generate a lot of value for me, having that visible review. So your bot can do that as well. It can go in and now because a user could message you that and just go in and say, you know what? Hey, I really enjoyed that hamburger I had yesterday. Okay, well, could you leave me a feedback about it, please? Guess what? I'll even give you an incentive to do that. Go leave me a feedback. I'll give you 20% off your next, or I'll give you a free, I already know if you like drinks or desserts, I'll give you a free margarita, or I'll give you a free cake with your next meal. So I'll get that social review, plus I'll drive you to come back and visit me again to claim your free dessert.
Yeah, pretty sweet stuff here. And as far as like ManyChat, if you built your subscriber list in ManyChat, you can't really take that and move to another platform. It's not like taking your email list and taking it from Aweber to MailChimp or something, right?
Well, so it depends on the platform, really. But so if you were to do a custom bot, sure. I mean, if you were to do a custom bot, essentially, you don't even actually have to have somebody subscribe to your bot. They just need to actually interact with your page, because you just need to get that page scoped ID from them. Now, Facebook has told the bot platforms that they want the user to actually interact with the bot. But essentially, if you're doing a custom bot, you could go in and just query everybody and get their page scoped IDs. But right now in the bot platforms, for the most part, if you get subscribers in one platform, the other platform's not going to let you bring those with you. But that will probably change. That will probably change in the future.
All ManyChats and Chatfuels and Gotti and all of these platforms, they're all still fairly new, so they're all still growing and adding features and I believe they're just going to keep getting better and better, obviously.
Yeah, they're definitely
Because you
very
see
new.
so many changes now. I mean, you can go to ManyChat or Chatfuel every week. They're doing some kind of updates and adding some new features. So
Yeah, no, they're a cool platform, but they're still relatively they're still relatively new. But even the Messenger platform's still new. I mean, even the Messenger platform itself is still in beta, and they're always updating their APIs. When we build bots, like I said, we don't focus on bot building, so it's not our main focus. But if people ask us to build it, then we build bots. But what we typically do is we build complete custom bots. So and really, the reason that we do that is because it gives us a lot more control. There's a lot more flexibility in what you can actually do. Um, so, but even when we build bots, we experience outages, or we've had bots where we've had to go in and almost completely rebuild the bot because Facebook has actually went in and changed the API endpoint, or like they physically changed the route, or they physically changed the data structure that you need to provide to the route, or they physically changed the return structure of the data, or they've changed all the names in the return structure. So now whenever you're parsing that data and looking for, user email, it's no longer user email. Now it's just email. So things don't actually work. And it's because they're still this is a very new platform. I mean, even though they released this back in like May of 2016, June of 2016, maybe April, but it's still a very, very, very new platform. And plus Facebook, I mean, Facebook has outages all the time that people aren't even aware of because they're so vast. I mean, they're so huge, and there's so many different things. And the average person half of Facebook could be down, and the average person would never even notice it because they don't even use those features.
Yeah, of course. Let me see. I thought I had another question. Where do you see, as far as like chatbots and like apps, or you think they'll ever really truly replace apps and even websites in some instances where everything would be done right within chat messenger?
No, I don't think they're ever going to really replace apps or replace websites, because those things still have their own use and their own value there. But I think a lot more content is going to end up getting delivered through messenger bots. A lot more customer service is going to be done through messenger bots. People are going to be buying stuff through messenger bots. So, but I don't think your average websites are just going to disappear. Neither are your traditional mobile applications, because even the bot itself is going to be limited to what it can actually do. So,
yeah.
Like the bot's not going to be able to get your location. The bot's not going to be able to get your location unless you physically provide it to it. But the app can. The app can physically just grab your location because it's a permission on the device. It can access your GPS.
True.
So I don't think they're going to replace apps or replace websites, but you're definitely going to start seeing a lot more companies start actually using them. You're going to see them flood the market for some time, and they're going to be really trendy for the next year at least. They're going to be really, really trendy, and there'll be a lot of money that will be made on people that are just starting bot agencies, and all they're doing is going out, acquiring clients, and then taking something like this demo restaurant bot and just copying over a template for somebody, and then basically updating the Zapier integrations and updating the actual content, and then maybe making some monthly residual income just by managing the content and managing the promotional broadcasts that are being sent out. And there'll be people that will start to make huge money just by running their own bot agency, doing something really, really simple. Because, literally show this to a restaurant. Go in and show this to a restaurant and give them a reasonable price. It's going to sell itself. That restaurant, no questions asked, is going to go in and buy that, because you just show them. You bring up this bot right here, this demo restaurant bot, and then go to that restaurant's Facebook page and click their send message and ask them the same questions. Ask this bot, can I see your menu? And ask their Facebook page, can I see your menu? Ask their Facebook page, hey, are you open right now? What are your business hours? And ask this demo bot. And they're going to clearly see, hey, look, this demo bot is just like automatically serving up content. My page is nothing. Nothing's happening. Users still waiting for me, and I can't even get to them. I don't even know how to go in and actually reply to a message on my page.
Exactly. And then your response number goes down as well
Hmm.
because you're not responding immediately to who's inquiring on your page.
So now less and
So,
less people are going to message you because they know, why even message you? You're not even going to respond back to them. So if you're not even going
exactly.
to respond to me, why am I even going to come to your business and pay you food? If you won't respond to me, I mean, why will I come pay you money? So you
And
just
that's the
show it.
thing. That's the thing is that the bot is actually the first touch point, and it's always going to give the same type of
Right.
experience, which is if you build it right, it'll be a great
Hmm.
experience, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
this is very well. That's why I was asking you about the templates because I mean, marketers are marketers. I've been around marketers for 10 years. Someone's going to come out on JVZoo or something like that with a whole 10 or 15 or 20 pack of chatbot templates that they're going to sell to marketers. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's I see that coming. Obviously, well, you can go to even I think it's
Hmm.
botmakers.com or something, and they've got the restaurant templates, they've got real estate templates, they've got all these different type of templates. But I don't think they're as I mean, they didn't look as good as what you just showed me. I mean, you've got some detail on this bot, which is nice.
Well, this bot, like I said, this restaurant bot was like a 6 hour build. So this
Yeah.
restaurant bot was a really, really, really fast. Like if I would have charged somebody for this bot, I would have charged them $300 for this bot because it's like I said, it's like a
Right.
6 hour build. So if I were to spend a week, and that's what I would do with the restaurant, I would spend, if I was to literally target somebody to sell them a bot, they're gonna pay me $2,000 to $5,000 because I'm gonna first spend 3 to 5 hours talking to that person, getting to know that person, getting to know
Yeah.
what is their current flow. What is your business process? What is it? One, let's first talk about your core business. What do you do so that we can understand how a bot could possibly help you? Then let's go in and figure out what are your current processes? How do you currently process things? What softwares do you use, and what are average day-to-day processes that different employees are doing? So once we figure that out, we can figure out what your automation should be, how we can go in and actually automate a lot of these processes to save you time and lower your resource cost. So now we're going to spend some time figuring that out, and that's going to be 3 to 5 hours most likely that we're going to spend so that I can understand what you do as a business and how to make your bot really, really help you. So then once that's done, we need to go in and actually build out all your flows and build out all these different automations. Well, first, I can build out a lot of your flows, but first I need to go into the drawing board and first engineer some of these automations and come up with, hey, how am I going to automate this? Can it be automated in your current flow, or do I need to come in and ask you, hey, can we make this deviation? Can we switch this flow? Because it's going to switch. So you're going to have a little bit of retraining maybe. But how much, after you do that retraining, how much time are you going to save because you introduce this automation? So you need to go figure that out, engineer that. Now, after that's engineered, then we actually have to go in and build out all these automations. And obviously, I would say, unless you're an asshole, I would say you want to test this bot, right? I would say you first want to test it to make sure that it works good and it's approached good
Absolutely.
before you just spam it out to everybody and everybody unsubscribes or says, hey, I'm never going to interact with you again. So we need to do
Right.
some testing, and we haven't talked about the actual content curation. I mean, if you're going to have a bot and you're going to serve up content, then you might as well invest some money in actually getting good content, good converting content. So
Right.
now we need to actually source that. And how do we create that good converting content? First, we need to go back. We need to spend more time with you. We need to talk about your brand. We need to talk about your image and figure out what type of brand, what type of image do you want to maintain so that we can give that information off to the content guy so that whenever he writes content, he's writing content that coincides with your business vision and your actual brand. So
Right.
now that dude needs to go in and actually write his content. He needs to give that content back. Now we need to go in and put that in your bot. So yeah, you're gonna pay for that, but at the same time, you're going to get a bot that is not a template bot. You're going to get a bot that fulfills your
Specifically
business.
designed around that
Correct.
particular business and brand. Yeah.
Correct. I mean, do you want your bot to say, "Hey, I'm a bot," or do you want to give the complete persona that there's a real person there? Well, how do you figure that out? Well, we need to know what you want to do as a business and what type of image do you want to have as a business. So, but like I said, this bot took only 6 hours for this restaurant
Yeah.
bot. There's only
Yeah.
6 hours built in it.
If
But
you
if you,
spent more time, you could go even deeper
yeah,
into way many more. Yeah.
Yeah, the more time that you spend, obviously the more things that you can accomplish. So these demo bots just serve as the foot in the door to say, look, here's some things that could happen. Now, you want to see more things that could happen? Let's talk about you and your business and what could actually be useful for you, and then we can go in and build those things out. And then how you would build those things out is you would come right back to your demo bot. You would build that thing out in your demo bot so that now all your new clients that are going to come see the demo bot, now they get to see that functionality that was built for Joe Smo over there with his restaurant that really helps him out, that will most likely help all the other restaurants out. And once you get that flow built out in your demo bot, you just transfer it over to the bot that you're building for that guy. And then you just repeat that process over. And the more content that you add, I mean, you don't spend any additional time in your demo bot other than the fact that now you got a paying client and he's going to pay you to create this type of flow or this integration. So instead of building it on his bot, you do your practice on your bot. Then it's built there in your demo bot. Now everybody else can see that new feature. You don't have to go in and rebuild it. It's another easy selling point for them. And then your demo bot begins to grow and grow. And as it grows, it becomes infinitely more easier for you to get these people to actually convert and say, hey, I have to have that. And then now every sale that you do makes your next sale more valuable, where you can charge a higher price because they can see all these other functionalities that they can do as well.
Yeah. Man. Wow.
So is there any particular things that you want to see exactly how to do, or you want to know exactly how to do?
Let me think here. I know that ManyChat just came out with the Flow Builder. How are you liking that so far? Have you spent much time, or did you build this before they even came out with the Flow Builder?
I'm loving the Flow Builder. I'll show you. Let's see one of these flows. So let's see here. I want to show you if I can find where I think that's here. Nope, it's right there. It's in this affiliate blueprint marketing bot. So let's look at one of these flows. So I like the Flow Builder because it allows me to do stuff like this. Yeah. So this is just a flow for an affiliate marketer. So basically, this guy, he's actually one of the guest speakers in the live training session. So we got like 5 guest speakers coming. Okay. Each of them are going to specialize. One specializes in content, one specializes in sales, one specializes in Facebook ads. This guy is really good with affiliate marketing. And then the other guy is actually the CEO and founder of ManyChat himself. So, okay. But this guy does affiliate marketing, and affiliate marketing is really, really useful. A lot of people that signed up said that they were interested in affiliate marketing, and a lot of them even said that that's what they do is affiliate marketing. So that's what this guy does is affiliate marketing. So basically, whenever you go into his flow, the first thing that happens is we add some tags that we've given you the onboarding offer. Okay, so then we go in and we give you the first offer. We say, hey, do you want this first offer? So if you say yes, then we go in and basically, if you say yes, what we do is we first ask you for your email, because we're going to go in and deliver the offer to your email address. And then we trigger an action to send out an email. This email is going to actually contain that first offer. Now you're going to go in and go through all the other offers and either say, yes, you want this other offer, which moves you to the next offer, or say no, which is going to actually then just exit you from this offer. Okay. And then if you would have said no, that you didn't want that first offer, we kind of would have done the same thing. We would have went in and given you a second offer. And if you said yes, we're going to collect your email address and then we're going to give you that offer. If you say no, then you're just going to exit the funnel. But if you said yes, then we're going to basically go in back to our list of offers. So this is the initial version of that. And you can kind of see how it looks like this. Not so great. And then if you go back and look at a new version of that, another updated version of that, which the Flow Builder really helps you figure this out. Here's another version. So here's another version of that exact same thing in the Flow Builder. So basically, user wants to take the first offer. If he wants to take the first offer, then we're going to check for his email. Okay. So if he has an email, then we're going to go in and actually do some action which is going to then, this action is going to, we're literally just recording that this guy wants to take offer 1. Okay. So now if he would have said no, he didn't. So this is just check email. So this is not actually a message, and this could be a little confusing because the way that I build, because this guy pays me to build his flows out for him, and the way that I do that initially is I build it out in some pseudo logic where you can go in and actually look at what would happen, and if he agrees, yeah, this is exactly what I want, then I go in and actually convert this to logical blocks where you would actually have some actions here that are doing this. But right now it's not this would be an action, a condition that would say, hey, check for, so this would literally be, I would go in and replace this with a conditional clause right here and just go into the condition and find, hey, this guy's email, if this email has any value. And if it was yes, then I would link in to this guy down here. And if it was no, then I would link into this block that says get email. And this would actually link into a flow that goes and gets the user's email. But that's just pseudo logic. So if he says yes, he wants this offer, we're going to check to see if he has an email. If he doesn't have an email, we're going to get this email. If he gives it to us, then we're going to route him in to this first offer. If he doesn't give it to us, then we're just going to exit the funnel and say, okay, get out of here, because if you don't want to give me your email, I'm not going to give you anything. So exactly. If he has an email, or if he gives us one, we're basically just going to tag this guy that says, hey, this guy has accepted offer 1, and then we're going to move him to the next offer. Now, if he says yes, we're going to basically just go through a loop. If he says yes, he wants this offer, we're going to tag him that he wants offer 2, move him to the next offer. If he says no, then we're just going to come down here and say, okay, we're going to now deliver you your offers that you've accepted. And at this point, it's just only offer 1. And then after we deliver those, we're going to actually exit the funnel. And we're just going to continuously do that. We're going to say, hey, get that next offer. If he says yes, we're going to tag him that he wants this offer. And then we're going to ask him, hey, do you want this other offer? And we're going to do that all the way until he runs out of offers. Same thing over here. If he said no to our initial offer, then we're going to actually try just this offer 2. We're going to say, okay, you didn't want my offer 1, so what about offer 2? Now, if he says, yes, I want this offer, then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to check for his email address. If he has one, then we're going to tag him that he wants offer 2. If he doesn't have one, then we're going to get his email. If he doesn't want to give it, then we're going to kick him out of our funnel. If he does give it, then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tag him that says, hey, you want offer 2. And then now we're actually going to, and actually what we would have done is we would not have done this right here, and we would not have done this right here. We would have grabbed that guy and put him in. We would have put him in. Oh, no, we would have done that. We would have done that. He needs to go into offer 2. So that's fine. We could have put him right in there because that's what he wanted. He wanted offer 2. He didn't get offer 1.
This is basically, to me, it's like it's like a sales funnel within Messenger. It's like a ClickFunnels funnel within Messenger.
This guy literally, this has been deconstructed from his funnel. He has a funnel that does the exact same thing, that whenever you sign up, it walks you through this entire process just like this. And it's literally what we've done is we've basically just created this same funnel, and we've created that same funnel inside his Messenger. But the flow builder, I love the flow builder. I use it. That's literally like the only thing that I use whenever I create my thing. So like here's a conditional logic flow. And this just basically shows the basics of conditional logic, but the flow makes it really easy to understand. I just did one a little bit earlier today. And that was here, called a repetitive process, I think. See this repetitive process. This uses a flow builder, and it makes it really easy for you to understand what's going on. I just go in and say, hey, I'll show you a repetitive loop, what a repetitive loop goes in. And I'll say, hey, do you want to repeat the process? If you say yes, then I just literally increase a value to show how many times that you've repeated this process, and I send you to the next repetitive process. So if you hit yes, you want to you want to repeat the process, you come back here. If you hit yes here, you come back here. That's the only way you can do a loop in ManyChat. If you want to do a loop, then you need to basically have two versions of the exact same thing. And if somebody says, yes, do this again, point them to the second version. And on that second version, when they say, yes, I want to do this again, point them back to the first version, because you cannot take this guy and loop him back into himself. ManyChat won't let you loop him back into himself. So you need to copy him and loop him to that copy. And then this guy, you need to do the same thing. Since you can't loop him back into himself, you need to loop him back into this original, just like I do there. So now you have this loop, right? You keep hitting yes, and you're going to keep going from here to there, from here to there, and keep increasing this guy. Now, once you finally say no, then you're put in here that says, hey, you've exited the loop, and this is how many times you've repeated that process. And then I set some field. I set that count back to 0 because I've delivered you the value. So now I set it back to 0, because here I'm going to go in and ask you if you want to repeat this process again. If you say yes, I'm going to take you back to the beginning step. If you say no, I'm going to go in and do something. I do this every day, and it's so funny because I do this to almost every process. I don't just end a process instead of ending the process. I just ask you how you're doing today, because now it gives me some additional information, and I can literally go in and store that information and find out, hey, are you having a bad day? Are you having a good day? How's this guy doing today? And it shows that I care. And the funny thing is most people subscribe to my bot know that this is actually a demo bot, but they still answer the question. I mean, even though they know this is not a live person asking them, even though they know it's a bot, they just naturally answer the question. Hey, this is how I'm doing.
Question. Yes. Yeah,
so now, and I'll show you this just while we're here, because I need to do it to this one. So I'll just go in and do it right now. So now I have this all in my platform that says show me how, where if you click the show me how button, I'll provide you a tutorial that literally shows you how to go in and repeat this entire process. In order for you to see that, you need to pay me some money. So I'm going to go in and build that step real quick and just give some condition. And if that condition was yes, I'm going to put that. If that condition was no, I'm going to send you to a flow that says, hey, you need to go in and pay for my help. And then now I'm going to set that condition. And that condition is going to be paid for help, paid how to, if that's true. So now if you want me to show you how to rebuild this flow, then I'm going to first to see, have you subscribed? Are you a paid user? Now this literally has just turned my bot into a paid membership site. You see these paid membership sites all over the place where they're going to give you this content, but you need to pay them a monthly fee. If you pay them a monthly fee, you have complete access to all their content, right? So now my bot is this membership bot. It's a paid membership bot where if you're not a paid user, then I'm going to send you to this flow that tells you I'm going to send you to this flow that takes you right here. Now this flow, what happens in this flow, which is another reason that I love the flow builder, because it completely shows you exactly what happens. So what happens in this flow is first I'm going to go in and say, hey, if you don't have a value in this paid how-to, because this is a Boolean, a yes or no, if this isn't set, then I need to set it to false. I'm going to set it to no, and then I'm going to move you to the next condition. If it is set, then actually, if it is unknown, so that's what it is, the logic backwards. If the paid how-to, if this is an unknown field, if that ends up being yes, then I'm going to go in and set you that you're false. You have not paid me. If it is known, which means it's already set true or false, I'm going to remove you to the next. I'm going to send you to the next condition. Now this condition just says, hey, if your paid how-to is false, which means you haven't paid me to teach you how to do this. If that's false, then I'm going to move you to this next condition. Okay. Now if paid how-to false equals no, which means that false actually does equal true, then I'm going to send you here, because it's really a mystery to me how you could have even got here, because you should have never got here, because to get here, you have to pass another to even get to this flow, you have to pass a condition whenever you click show me how, where I first look at this value to see if it's false or true. And if it's false, do I send you to this flow? So you're only ever going to be put into this flow if it's false. So if you ever get put into this flow and your value is true, then I don't know how you got here, because it's just actually impossible. But I can't leave this empty. So I just set it like that. So now if you haven't paid me to teach you how to do this, the first thing I'm going to do is collect your email address, because even if you don't pay me, I'll want that email address. So the first thing I'm going to do is collect that email address. So if there's no value in your email, then I'm going to go in and I'm going to get that email address from you. Now, after I get that email address, or if I already have your email address, I'm going to go to this flow right here. And this flow just says, hey, I'll show you how to do anything that you want. But in order to do that, you need to pay me $10 a month. So you just click here on this right here, and that will take you to a page where you can pay $10 a month. It will take you to literally this page right here, this advanced. It will take you to this page right here. It just takes you to this page right here where now you can pay $10. This is a $10 monthly fee where now you can have access to all that unlocked content. So I'm gonna deliver you that. I'm gonna say, hey, you need to go in here. I'm gonna give a nice picture of me and having my sons kiss me, because that makes people really, really want to convert, because they're like, hey, this guy is a handsome guy. He doesn't look crazy or like a drug addict. He's got two really cute kids kissing him. So yeah, let's just give that guy some money. So now I let you know, hey, after you sign up, you can go in and access everything. And then now actually this flow builder has messed things up a little bit, where this was, now if you go in and say, hey, I didn't support you because you actually never figured that out, I'm just going to let you know that, hey, that's no problem. You don't have to support me, but I'm not going to give you any of my paid content unless you go in and pay me. So if they decide, yeah, I'll support you, I just basically start you over at this flow again. I just start you again. If you say, no, I don't care, then literally at this point, I just unsubscribe you from my bot and kick you out of my bot, because why have you in my bot if you're never going to want to pay me? I mean, there's no reason to even have you in my bot. So I'm just going to unsubscribe and get rid of you, because I only want people. And I mean, that's the whole purpose of having subscribers. So if you say if you say you're welcome, if you say you're welcome, then I'm inferring that you did go in and actually pay me. So if you say you're welcome, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and check, did you actually pay me or not? Now, I'm going to go look that up, and I'm going to find out, hey, did you pay me or not? If I find out you didn't pay me, I'm going to tell you, hey, you actually haven't paid me yet. So now you can tell me, hey, I did pay. So now if you did pay, that's going to notify me, and I'll need to go in and actually look and see if there was some problem where you did pay and my process didn't automate. If it did, I'll go in and manually do it. Most of the time I shouldn't have to do that. Or you didn't pay, so you'll say, hey, I'll go pay now, which if you say you'll pay now, I'm just going to pipe you back into this flow, give you this information again so you can go pay. If you said I didn't pay, then I'm just going to go in and say, hey, that's okay. You don't have to pay, but I'm not going to give you my content unless you pay. So if you decide, okay, I'll pay, I'll write you route back into this where you can pay again. If you say no thanks, then at this point, I'm going to say, hey, how are you doing today? I'm going to continue the conversation and ask you for some input and show, hey, I care about you. You're not going to pay me? All right, no problem. But how are you doing today?
Right.
So
where would you, in all of this, if some people are still a bit where they need to, they know they're talking to a chat bot, but say they want to talk to you live through the chat. When are they able to say, I want to talk to a live person or talk to John personally or something before I purchase or whatever? How would you?
Well, I could add that somewhere into this flow. Like, let's say right here, I could go in right here and say, not sure, want to talk. Okay. Gotcha. I could do something like that and just go in.
And then that would immediately alert you, and then where the bot would hand it over and message you through Messenger and say you need to respond to this person immediately, or?
Correct. I could go in and now give an action group. I could go in and send this guy to some action group and have this notify the admin, notify me, and open up a conversation. And now I go in and reply to this guy and say, hey, what's going on?
Nice.
This is just $10 a month that I'm asking for. Are you that broke? Or,
right. Do you really need to talk to someone?
Yeah. What's going on, buddy? So all that I could do, but see, this is just.
Well, I was actually thinking for higher ticket things, 1,000, 2,000 and up, people sometimes want to talk to a human or feel like they're interacting with a human instead of maybe a bot. So it would probably be better in a higher ticket scenario.
Yeah.
For a higher physical product or a coaching program or something like that.
Yeah, for a higher ticket product, yeah, most of the time they're actually going to want to. Most of the time, they're definitely going to want to talk to you for a higher ticket.
And that may be your ultimate goal anyways, to have them ultimately run through the sequence and then talk to you at the end where you close them, right? For this high ticket. Yeah.
I wanted to actually get back to see, that it was in this repetitive process. So now you saw that flow, that pay for help flow. So now this guy is completely done. This guy is completely done, except for I just need to actually come in here and change this message. So now basically I've turned this show me how into, like I said, a paid premium content where you want to learn exactly how to do this repetitive process, and you want to learn exactly how to do this loop, and you want me to show you how to do it. I have no problem showing you how to do that, but you need to pay me $10 a month for me to get access to all this content. So now I'm going to check whenever you hit show me how, I'm going to check, hey, if you've already paid me, then I'm just going to go ahead and give you access to this content because that's what you pay for. If you haven't paid me, then I'm going to send you to this flow that lets you know, hey, if you want access to this content, I'll give it to you, and it's really valuable content. But I've got these 2 little kids that are kissing me, and I actually got one more that's not in that picture. I got a daughter too, and they all want McDonald's every Friday, and for that I need money. So you need to give me some money. Right. I'll put you in that flow. But now this has just completely turned this whole bot into a paid subscription bot that has some now, and I could go in and change this with some logic. Now, what I could do and if you wanted to do a membership bot, what I could do is we could go right in here. We could add another condition, right? We could add another condition here where either I could hook it up to this no here, or I could have this condition first, and this condition could just check a freebies variable, right? I can have a freebies variable that starts at 0, and I can say, hey, I'll give you 3 pieces of paid content for nothing. Now, after those 3 pieces, then you need to pay me, okay? So if you need to talk to John, you're not sure about that $10, well, guess what? I'll give you 3 pieces of this premium content for free, whatever 3 pieces you want, or I can restrict it to certain pieces of content, not my most valuable content, but my semi-valuable content. Those pieces you can redeem for free, but every time you redeem one, I'm going to increment that value by 1, and once you get above 3 as a freebies, then now I'm going to route you in, and that logic's going to check, hey, are you a paid user? No? Okay, fine. How many freebies? Do you have less than 3 freebies? If yes, then give you the paid content for free. If no, you have already 3 freebies because I've already given you 3 pieces of paid content for free. Now I'm going to route you in and say, hey, you need to pay for this because you've already used all your freebies, buddy. Or maybe at that point, I'll say, hey, want to get 3 more freebies? Share my page. Go give me a review on Facebook. Like my page. Do something for me, and I'll give you 3 more freebies. If not, then, unsubscribe from my bot, buddy.
Right. Go ahead and get off. So can the bot, can it actually automatically tell if someone's paid, or do you have to go in and check that manually?
No, that's all automated through this invoicing platform. So the only reason I allow for that option that says I paid, I paid for me to manually go in and check is because there's a 5-minute delay because it's ran through one of these zaps where it's ran through one of these zaps right here. It's actually ran through this zap right here. So this zap goes into the actual, whenever a new Stripe payment is actually made, and that Stripe payment is actually advanced bot tutorials. So if you make a Stripe payment and that Stripe payment actually contains, just like this guy does, if you look here, George, if you look here, this guy contains a name of the plan. The plan that this guy subscribed to was advanced bot tutorials. So whenever Stripe gives me back a new payment object and says, hey, you just had a new person that subscribed for advanced bot tutorials, then I go in and just add them to this spreadsheet here. I just set this up today. I set this up today, and it took like 15 minutes to set up. And then I already had today 3 people that went in and subscribed to that $10 process today. And I don't do any advertising at all on this bot. So the bots can clearly make you money, because I just generated $30 today to give content that literally I've been giving to people for free this whole time. So
might as well monetize it, right?
Right. So now if you go in and actually pay for that, and you get on this advanced bot tutorials, then as soon as that happens, you're added to this actual spreadsheet. Your email's added to the spreadsheet. And since your email's added to the spreadsheet, there's another Zap that also basically from this spreadsheet sits back, and I could actually just do it. I could just do it right here. I could just do it here, but if I wanted to do it here, I would need to do a ManyChat lookup. I need to actually do a lookup. I need to look somebody up from their email address. I'll just go look the guy up by his email address, and then no, actually that won't actually work. That won't work. I'll do that, but this guy, it will work. This guy needs to be this guy's email address here. So that can be him. So now I'll skip test and continue, and then now I'll have another action here. Crap, I can't skip test. I gotta actually test that. Because if I don't test that, then and even now he's not going to let me. Even now he's not going to let me get that. So that's the only thing that I hate about that. So in order to do that, I need to find this guy here. Which was joe@babyexperts.com, and that would be in here. Audience, search for Joe. Email joe@babyexperts.com. So I'm really actually not understanding why that didn't fire, because he's in that email address. I've got him in that email. Let's just try to fire that one more time. I'm really not understanding why he didn't. I'm really not understanding why he's not finding that guy, because I know for a fact that that guy is in ManyChat. So what I'm actually thinking is because this actually has changed. So let's just grab this and look and see if this guy's actually, his data's changed and what I'm previewing is different. And it looks like it definitely has changed. So now let's see if we can find this guy and see this guy. And this is a one thing that it's hard to do with these ManyChat bots, or any bots really, and it's because you cannot rely on a user. You just can't rely on a user to do what they're actually supposed to do, and they're supposed to actually put in their email address in this payment field. Like you can see here in this invoice, whenever you hit make payment, it clearly asks you for your email, but they don't.
First thing it asks is for your email.
Yeah, and they actually just don't put in their email. And I can see if I just look at this person right here. This is the last person that Stripe is actually giving me back that paid for this. And whenever I look, I can see this guy's name. This should be his actual email here, but it's not. It's his name because this guy didn't give me any email provided. So now that makes it and this is a real bad thing about it, makes this now this Zap is pretty much dead right now, because I can't go in and actually test this, and I have to test this, because if I don't test this, then I don't have access to this data and this next process of my Zap, because I have to run this test first to get some data back. And since I can't run this test and get any data back, well, then I won't be able to access any data from this Zap, any data from this process to basically go in, because what I would do here is I would go in and get this guy's ManyChat user ID, and I would set that custom field that shows that this guy is paid for his how-to training. I would set that to true here, but I can't do it because I can't actually test that Zap. So because like I said, this guy that went in, they just don't follow instructions, and he didn't use his email address. He used his, like, the dude will give me $10 a month, but he won't give me his email address. Imagine that.
Crazy.
But yeah, it can be completely automated. In the ideal scenario, it is completely automated. I've got my engineers, and it won't be done until tomorrow, but I've got my engineers actually adding another Zapier integration to this invoicing platform to give you a custom notification as soon as somebody goes in and actually makes the payment. So right now the Zapier integration for this invoicing platform only allows you to actually generate custom invoices on the fly. So I'm going to go in and add the ability for whenever somebody pays this invoice through the actual invoicing platform, that it will push the notification to Zapier, so that now you can go in. So now you can go in and sell individual pieces of content and say, hey, you want this ebook that I spent 2 weeks actually coming up with the content for? It's $7. So now you pass them out that product invoice. They go in and pay that product invoice. Now, as soon as that invoice is paid, then we fire that off to Zapier. So you just have that as your trigger in Zapier, and then now you can go in and send them out a custom flow in ManyChat that actually has your downloadable content there, and you can sell one-off pieces of content if you want.
Yeah, very cool stuff, man.
Can you give me 45 seconds real quick?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No problem. So I see a lot of different I don't know. I guess I do see guys coming out. I guess I just found you probably in one of the many chat groups or one of the other chatbot groups. But some guys are selling bots from 10 grand,
Yeah.
and some people are selling bots for $500. You know what I mean? Like there's a big difference in gap between what one person's charging and what someone else is charging for these things.
Well, you can charge whatever you want for the bot, but the amount that you're going to get is directly proportional to your selling tactics that you have. So if you're
or the value that bot actually brings that business, no different than Facebook ads. Someone may charge a restaurant $1,000 a month to run their Facebook advertising and bring in customers, but if that's directly reflecting and bringing in $30,000 or $40,000 worth of business, isn't it more fair to get like 10% of that, like $4,000 a month for your Facebook advertising? You know what I mean? So I think it's just.
And what are you going to bring to the table too, though? I mean, are you going to give somebody some generic ass template bot that you just bought from somebody and you put no time in? Or are you going to actually go in and sit down face to face or virtually meet with this person and get in there? I mean, if you trust me, you can get a business owner. Any business owner will talk about their business. And if you get a business owner talking about, what do you do? What are your pain points in your business? What do you struggle at? What do you really hate about the processes that you have right now? That business owner will talk, and he can talk, and he can talk, and he can talk. So that guy easily, you can go in and spend 10 hours of time just listening to him. And you physically actually don't have to listen to him. You physically just need to be on the other end of the phone call and just let him talk. And you don't even actually have to physically listen. Now you should listen, because the more that you listen, the more feedback you're going to be able to give to him, which is going to create your content, make your content more valuable. But that guy will talk to you for 10 hours easy. Now, if you get that guy to invest, and that's what I tell people all the time, you don't even actually have to have good content. All you need is to be able to deliver content at a pace that a user can comfortably consume it. Because as that user consumes your content, they spend their time consuming that content. They value their own time, which instantly makes your content valuable because they've spent time consuming it. So now if you get that business owner doing that, you get that business owner going in and spending his time talking to you about his business, that dude values his time. So even if you don't give him any input at all about his business, you just listen to him for 10 hours, you've created a huge value packet there, because he invested 10 hours with you. And how much does he value his time? Multiply that by 10. That's how much value you've given him. Now, if you go back in and deliver content back to him and interact with him and give him suggestions, you've made that even more valuable. Now, if that's how you start off your bot build, and you go in and show him, look, I'm not trying to give you some template ass bot. I'm trying to actually save your business money, save your business time, generate new sales for you in intuitive ways. How can I possibly do that if I don't know anything about your business? I don't know anything about your process. So these guys that are selling these bots for $500, what are they doing? They're going and getting some template, or they've built some template, and they're just trying to mass spam people and then go in and say, hey, look, I've got this. And they're not doing any work for that. They're doing some 1 hour, 2 hours worth of work, which is why they're not getting shit for their bot. If you spend some time first talking to your client and figuring out what their pain points are, how a bot can actually help them, what their business is, those guys will pay you. I mean, obviously, like take my dad, for example. My dad's company, they pay me $4,500 a month for what? For nothing. All I do is manage their ad spend now. Literally run the same ad over and over and over again. But why do they pay me that? Because through those ads generate them leads. They sell mobile homes. My dad sells pre-manufactured housing. His lowest ticket item is like $76,000. My dad gets a 20% commission on that sale. So if I generate one sale for him, my dad just made $14,000 off that sale. If I deliver him one sale a month or one sale every 2 months, he'd be stupid not to pay me $4,000 a month to do that, because he's still $6,000 ahead with my help. Yeah. Now his bot goes in and does some pre-qualification. Once a user goes in, they generate, we do Facebook lead ads and we do messenger ads. So once a user goes into the actual bot, they do some pre-qualification to figure out, hey, what's your credit score, man? Where are you looking for? What type of budget do you have? Do you have a trade-in? If so, how much do you owe on it? Blah, 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 whatever their lead scoring mechanism is. Now, once they're done, they have a lead with a particular score, right? So now these guys are getting literally 3 sales a month that are coming in off of these ads. They would be crazy not to. They would be crazy not to pay you to deliver that service. But in order,
the ROI is too good to not do it.
Right. And you have, and those are the different options that you really have. You can pay somebody or you can charge somebody some one-off fee to go in and actually build the bot and deliver the bot, and then maybe charge them some monthly retainer to maintain the content and strategize and come up with their promotional stuff. Or you can take the approach and say, hey, I'm just going to generate you leads. And if you're generating them leads, you don't even have to build the bot for them. You can build the bot for yourself and have it on your own page and build your own brand and be, whenever you're advertising, get engagement on your post and your ads, but ultimately generate the lead and then just dish it out to them. And then depending on that CLV, right? Depending on that CLV and what the ticket item is and the price that this lead is going to actually convert on, that determines how much you're going to make. Now, if you're selling leads to a car dealership or you're selling leads to a realtor, these guys in metropolitan areas, these guys are making sales $300,000 items, right? They're making minimum 6-7%, right?
Here in Malibu, homes are $5 million.
Yeah. Trust me, you generate one sale for a realtor in Malibu, and that dude sells a $3 million house and he gets a 10% commission. He gets $300,000 of commission on that one sale. He said that dude will pay you $50K, no problem. That dude will pay you $100K, no problem. If he will pay you, now all you have to actually figure out from him, and this is where you need to spend a little bit of time with him talking, you need to figure out, how do you source your leads right now? And how much time do you have invested in the pre-qualification and the targeting and scoring of your lead? So once you figure that information out, then you can figure out how to price him per lead, because now once you generate these leads to him and he realizes that he has no time investment in the pre-qualification or the nurturing, you're literally handing him a lead that's just ready to sign a lease or ready to sign some bank loan. Well, then you can go from saying, hey, I'm going to charge you $20K a month, to say, hey, I'm going to charge you $100,000 per lead. Why? Because I'm giving you a lead that's ready to sign a piece of paper. You don't have to talk to him. You don't have to show him a house. That dude's ready to sign, ready to go. He's going to buy. Yeah. And there's lots of money in that lead generation and brokerage. There's a lot of people out there and they're making money and all they're doing is brokering deals like this. So one of our guest speakers, his name is Rocky Calhill. One of the things that he does, and he trains people how to do, is essentially just that, is essentially deal brokering. You're broke, you don't have no money, you want some extra money. Well, guess what? All you have to do is hustle, broker a deal. Somebody who wants to buy a car, somebody who wants to sell a car, hook those guys up and say, look, I'm going to broker this deal. And that's all a real estate broker really is he's just somebody who connects two people. And guess what? He makes a huge amount of money just for that connection. Now what he has to do is he has to share a common interest from both parties, right? He has to try to maximize utility from both parties. He has to get the buyer the biggest benefit and the seller the biggest benefit. He has to be able to get the buyer to pay the most that he'll pay, but he also has to be able to get the seller to take the least that he'll pay and find that equilibrium. And that broker makes a really, really good amount of profit because he makes everybody win. But there's a lot of money in that brokering.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just like product arbitrage, right? Buying products from China and selling it for 2 or 3 times as much as what you're paying for them. So how are you finding the messenger ads? So you're sending, you're writing up your ads. They're going into people's news feed and they're clicking on send a message directly with the page, I guess your father's page for selling mobile homes or whatever, and then the bot will take over there and qualify them. So by the time he's picking up the phone to call them, he's like, this is a super hot lead ready to buy with great credit.
By the time he's reaching out to call them, He knows where they're looking to buy, what area they're looking to buy. He knows if they got a trade in, if they don't have a trade in, if they're behind on their mortgage, upside down on their mortgage, what their actual credit score, what their credit score is. He knows what type of loan he can get them approved on. He knows what their budget is. He knows when they're actually looking to purchase, if they're looking to purchase now or if they're looking to purchase a month from now. So yeah, by the time he actually gets on the phone to talk to this guy, he knows all the information that he would have already spent 30 minutes to an hour having some bullshit conversation, some small chat to extract this information from him. He already knows all that information. Why? Because he had that bullshit conversation on autopilot through the bot.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. And even if you try to get this person to a landing page to answer 15 or 20 or 30 questions on a stagnant form, most people are going to jump ship and be like, but when it's a bot asking you and interacting with you, it's almost like you feel compelled to answer these questions.
Well, and plus the thing is you're right. I mean, where are you at anyways? You're right here. Where did you see my ad at in the first place? Where did you see my ad that says, hey, are you looking to buy a new house? Are you looking to buy a new house and want to save $10,000 off your new house, or you want a free septic tank with your new house, or you want a free big screen TV, or whatever deals they run? Because but with my dad, I outsource. That's what I do with him, because I'm an engineer. I don't do marketing. I don't write content, although I'm capable of doing all of it, because from an engineering perspective, you just look at it and figure out the actual process and then just repeat the process. I'm not super interested in it, so I don't do it. I just outsource it to a firm that manages it for my dad. But yeah, essentially you just run paid traffic to the ad. They look for, they literally go down and look for people, who are interested in football, right? Or whatever. And then you get the person into the ad. And then, like I said, where did you see my ad at? You saw my ad right here. You saw my ad right here scrolling down your news feed, just like this guy right here. You saw that. You clicked. As soon as you clicked, what happened? It popped up this message right here. Now you've interacted with that a little bit. Now you're like, hey, screw that guy. I don't want to talk to that guy right now. So you just close him, right? Now you're scrolling some more. Well, guess what? 10 seconds later, this dude replied to you again and said, hey, what was your credit score, by the way? So he popped up right here again. So yes, naturally, you're just going to reply back to him right here. Why? Because you don't have to leave and go to some webpage somewhere else and go in and fill this up, because everything that you want to see is right here. Here's all the content that you're wanting to see, like my wife. You want to see a picture of my wife. So you're scrolling your news feed trying to creep on her. So while you're right here looking at all this content that you want to intake anyways, then yes, you're going to come in and you're going to fill out this right here.
Yeah. Wow. Pretty cool stuff, man. Really. It really is. So, and if it was the lead ad, they would also, I guess, would you ask all those questions within the lead ad before they click submit, or would you just get their email and then send them to a landing page that would then ask those questions? So
I think that would be a question that's better asked for a marketer, but for my dad, whenever they come in as a lead ad. So I have this other software that I built, and actually I give it to you guys. I give it to you guys on a promotion. If you check here, ManyChat promos, I give you guys access to this software, to two of these different softwares that I built at a really, really ridiculous price of $25 a month. I mean, literally this software right here, I've got 7,000 development hours from my engineers in building this software right here. So I give it to you for a really ridiculous low price. But this software right here, if you look at this software, it basically allows you to go in and connect automatically to your Facebook lead ads. So you just go into this little widget and you connect with Facebook. Once you connect with Facebook, it takes a couple seconds, because what it does is it goes out to your Facebook account and it pulls in every one of your Facebook pages that have actual lead ads attached to them. So it goes in and actually pulls in those ads, and you can see here's the different ads right here, and it allows you to go in and actually create a list. And whenever you create this list, you can add these guys to an actual campaign. And then inside this campaign, you can go in, and your campaign is kind of like your autoresponder. So in that campaign, you can go in and set up this is really like a sequence from ManyChat, right? where you have something that happens immediately and then 5 minutes later and then a day later, and you can send out emails, text messages, or live phone calls. Actually, if you want to send out a live phone call where the user gets a phone call and then they press 1 and they're instantly connected with you. And that's what my dad does for his lead ads. Whenever somebody comes in to his lead form, they're put on his actual campaign, and his campaign literally just instantly calls them and connects them so that he can talk to them. Because my dad is that's where I get it from, is my dad is just an awesome salesperson. I mean, he's won so many awards for sales. He's been really into, Zig Ziglar and all those salespeople his whole life. And my dad's kind of like a lot like me, that if he gets you on the phone, or if he gets you in person where he can talk to you in person, if you got the money to buy his good night. Thanks for the coffee. Good night. If you've got the money to buy whatever he's selling you, you're going to buy it. The only reason you're not going to buy from him is, there's 2 reasons you're not going to buy from him. Either you don't have the money, or my dad's a real big asshole sometimes. And sometimes he lets that affect his sales, where he'll have some issue with some person, and instead of putting his personal attitude aside to go after that money, he just is like, well, you know what? You're stupid. So just whatever. But other than that, if my dad talks to you, he's such a great salesperson that he will sell you. So whenever he gets the hot leads coming in that they've submitted the ad, most of the time in his ads, like I said, I don't really know because I don't run his ads. I just outsourced it to an ad agency, but I'm pretty sure most of his ads, they pre-qualify with just the budget, just what their budget is. I think maybe the zip code that they're actually looking to purchase a house in. But the messenger ads seem a lot more useful to run somebody into the actual messenger ads because, hey, did you see this email from Nicole? The messenger ads seem much more useful because obviously once you run the messenger ad, now that person is subscribed to you. And in my opinion, that having them in the messenger bot is much more useful than that email. Having them in that email, or even having their phone number. Now, I would say you want all of that data, right? You want their email address. You want that phone number as well, because you don't always want to be spamming them on Facebook, right? Because if you do that constantly, if you're not providing good content, they're gonna unsubscribe from you because they're like, hey, this dude's just every day bugging me about buying this car or that. So you still want to have that email as an auxiliary, but that Facebook, having them in Facebook in your messenger bot, I mean, that is a huge. I mean, that's literally, I'll do this on some of the live trainings where I'll just go into one of my bots and then run a broadcast, and you'll see how effective it is at people. I mean, you will get instant replies, like instant responses instantly. As soon as you send out that promotion, instantly people are replying. And the people who aren't replying, guess what? They're sleeping. They're not on Facebook right now. They don't have their phone because they're sleeping. But as soon as they get their phone, they open up their phone, they're replying as well. I mean, it has a lot more response rate than
the engagement is just there, right? People are just we're so trained to check our phone for messages all the time.
Right.
But email, we're so just sometimes I don't even want to check my email because I know there's already going to be 50 emails in there. It's almost overwhelming sometimes, but something about Messenger, just that instant connection, it makes a world of difference.
And plus the bots are still so new that a lot of people don't even understand that this is not a real person. A lot of people, and this will be like this for another 6 months. I would say for another 6 months, greater than 50% of the people will still not know what a messenger bot is, and will still not realize that this message that they're getting is an automation. It is not physically a person. They will still think this is some person. I should reply to them because it's some person. Right. I mean, even a professional that's not even that is nowhere interested in your services whatsoever, has no plan to convert on your services, will still answer you because they're professional, and they want to answer you in case you ever are going to convert on their services. They know that, hey, if I just leave this guy hanging, he's not going to think I'm professional. He's not going to buy from me. So let me go in and answer him so that if he ever needs my service, then he'll be like, yeah, that guy was real responsive. He was real professional. So people just, I mean, people, they just really respond to that. I mean, they really respond to this messenger. And like I said, it's gonna be like that for some time still, where people are going to be continuously doing that. So it's going to be a good platform. And then even after people realize that it's a bot, like I said, they're still going to respond to that. Taking case that sample that I showed you, where I'm always asking somebody after they in my flow, I'm always asking them how are you doing? Now my entire subscription, okay, and I don't have that many subscribers, but I don't do any advertising whatsoever to this bot other than I post the links in ManyChat. Haven't done any other ads or anything. All of these subscribers are bot builders, ManyChat users. They know what a bot is. They understand bots because they're building it. Even they're coming to my bot, asking my bot how to build stuff for their bot. So these guys know very well what these guys know very well what their
how'd you make out?
Is.
What?
Hey, I'm just gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you right now, okay, Joe?
Oh, hold on one second, sure. I'm sorry. Recording. Did you?
Yeah. No, we heard you just fine, man. Sounded like
I didn't realize I was unmuted. So sorry about that.
Yeah. No problem.
You got me muted?
No, I can still hear you. I can mute you if you want me to.
Yeah, please do. I got to take this phone call. I'll call you back. I'll come back in a second.
Yeah, no problem. Just drop in a message whenever you're done if you want to be unmuted, and I'll unmute you, Joe. But even everybody here, they know this is a bot. They know what bots are. Still, they know my platform is a complete bot. And still, when I ask them how they're doing, they still answer me. And even my bot, when you answer me, even my bot sends you back. Like if you answer me, I'm good, how are you? Even my bot will tell you, I'm a bot. I don't have feelings. And then I'll ask you again, how are you doing today? And you'll answer me again, even though I've told you that I'm a bot. So I mean, it's a great platform, and it's totally working right now. And like I said, it should work at least for another year or so. It's going to be really, really trendy. I mean, you can make a lot of damn money in a year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why I was already talking to my girlfriend. I tell you, she runs PR for this restaurant group, and they have all these restaurants. It would just seem like the perfect segue for me to show her, because she's already talking to someone else about developing an app for the restaurant group, and I'm wondering if the app is the best way or if it's smarter to go with the chatbot system set up, So I'm actually going to.
What type of restaurant group is it? Is it so? It's a group. They own a lot of different restaurants. What type of restaurants?
Yes,
they own class restaurant.
They own sushi restaurants. So here in Los Angeles, there's like 10 of them here. They're starting to expand into New York. They just launched a burger concept, an Italian concept, and they've got a few other high-end sushi restaurants here that aren't even a part of the lower-end brand. So they've got like 15, 20 restaurants so far. They're all nice restaurants. People rave about them. I mean, they don't do really any marketing. People just word of mouth because once you have the food and the sushi here, it's like a cult following here in LA. People are like just a part of it. They love this stuff and they come in and come back over and over and over. So yeah, I wanted to,
I would say your best bet there though, Charlie, is not going to be use something like this demo bot. I would say your best bet there is to spend some 5 or 10 hours of your own time, find one of their restaurants, find one of their pages, create a demo Facebook page for that restaurant, create a demo Facebook bot for that particular restaurant. Go to their website, get their business hours, go to their website, get their content, have a welcome message with their content, get their menu, go in and upload their menu there, right? So now you can show them this demo. Now, whenever you show them this demo, what did you just do? One, you showed them not a generic thing. You showed them the actual thing. They're seeing, hey, this is my actual restaurant. This is my actual food, right? They're going to see that. And then they're going to be able to put it in such a good perspective because it's their actual content that they're going to relate to it. And they're going to love, because trust me, if I show you a generic bot that has somebody else's content, you will never love it as much as if I show you a bot that has your own content. If I show you your own content, you're obviously going to love it because that's your own content. That's your own brand. You're instantly sold there. And then besides that, they realize that you're the type of person that's ready to give value first, like me. Why? I have people every day from ManyChat that just offer to pay me. I have people that put money in my PayPal account for me not doing anything. They just like, hey, I want to pay for some of your time. I know you're busy, so I just sent you some money. Why? Because they know that I'm the type of person, I'll go ahead and give you value up front to an extent. And I'm not just going to continuously do that over and over and over again for the rest of my life for free, but I'll do that enough times to give you the trust that you need to have in me. Now, so if you go in and spend your own time, you're going to instantly show them that this guy is not, obviously he's trying to monetize me and make some money for me, but he's not trying to scam me. He's already invested 5-10 hours of his time just to show me what he can do. And it's going to make it so much easier for you to sell because they've seen that you're a worker and that you're a value provider, and you don't need their money to provide that value up front. You're more than, and that establishes you as a lot more professional because they realize that you don't need that money, right? You're not so strapped for cash that you can't spend some of your time first as an investment in them. And then two, like I said, they see their own content and they see their own menu in that bot. They say, hey, what's on your menu? And they see literally their menu. They're completely sold, man.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Makes so much sense. Wow. Well, I don't want to keep you on too long, brother. I actually got a call at 11. It's about 10:50 here now in LA. But man, I would love to, I'm going to go to your page, post something, and I'm going to make sure I get as many people over to your training, the 35-hour training that's coming up. I'll make sure to share that link. I've got a Facebook group of marketers, about 7,000 or 8,000 people. It's more in the Teespring on demand area, but I also post different stuff for them that I think is interesting, and I'd like to go ahead and post the training in there and see if we can get more people on this training, because the knowledge bombs you're dropping here, brother, are gold.
Yeah, well, I've got a ref link that I can give you that you can just drop that ref link. Pretty sure it's this right here. So you can just drop this link. I'm just going to drop it in this chat. Okay. But that link right there, if you just click on that ref link, that link will literally just basically open up a sequence that invites you to join the training. It gives you a little bit of information on the training, and then we'll drive you right into the actual page where you can sign up for the training and everything. So you can just drop in that link, and it will literally, as soon as they click that, they'll be subscribed to the Messenger bot, and they'll be presented with some information about the training and then a link to be able to go in and join the training.
Awesome. Fantastic, man. I really appreciate this, brother. This was fantastic.
Yeah, and maybe just think about what it is that you actually want to do, because in our live sessions, our live training sessions that I'm starting on the 2nd, it's going to be 7 hours a day, broken up into 2 2-hour sessions and 3 1-hour sessions. One of those sessions every week will be a guest speaker that will come in and speak. It gives us a break from doing practical stuff and just allows us to do a QA with somebody who's a content marketer or a digital marketer, stuff like that. But other than that, all the other training sessions are going to be live interactive like this, where people are just going to say, John, I want to know how you can reserve a table for a restaurant. And I'll go in and show you how I've already done it. And then if you need to, we'll literally go right in and we'll create those flows, and I'll do it right in front of you in ManyChat. I'll literally do it right in front of you. Whatever you want done, I'll just go in and build that out right in front of you and show you exactly how to do it. So maybe think of what things that you're wanting to specifically learn, because that's going to be really the dialogue of our training. We're going to figure out what people want and then just do that.
Okay. Man, really cool stuff here, man. Blow my mind. I just love the flow builder. And I mean, you really have to have a skill set to actually build the flow as well. It's almost like a copywriter for a sales page, you know?
You need to understand your flow. You need to understand the basics of logic, and then you need to understand what are you trying to do. I mean, if you just go in and create some arbitrary flow and you don't even know what your point is, know what you're trying to achieve, well, then you're not going to have a lot of success. But if you know what you're trying to achieve and you understand a little bit of logic, then the flow builder becomes really easy, really intuitive, because you know exactly what to do. So it helps. I recommend is you just grab a piece of paper, you grab a pencil, and then you figure out, hey, what you want to do, and then you just kind of wireframe out your flow and your steps of that flow. Do you need to get some information from people? Do you want them to make some decisions because you want to do some type of lead score or something? So you just wireframe that flow out, and then it will be really, really easy for us to go in and implement that in the flow builder.
Right. Great. Well, fantastic, man. Again, I really appreciate it. I've got to run because I got a call at 11, but yeah, I'll be in touch, brother. And I'm gonna go ahead and share the link. That way we can get as many people on this training as possible.
All right. It sounds good, man. If you need anything, just send me a message.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome. You have a good one, man. Thank you.
All right. You too, brother. Take care.
Bye.
Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
Good. Now, is this recording you're doing that you make available for everybody to watch after?
Yeah. So these recordings, anybody that came in on that paid training, I'll give all those replays to them of any of the live trainings that I do. So they're all recorded, and I'll make all those available as replays. So any of these impromptu, because until we start the training session, I'm just doing impromptu trainings where I'm going out. People have actually went inside this bot. And if you look inside this bot, I've got, if I go look and do a filter here, I've got some tags of people who are interested in pre-training. And you can see that there's 90 people that have went through this flow and said that they're interested in pre-training. So,
wow.
What I do when I have some spare time, I'll just go in and actually create a broadcast, just like this broadcast that I did right here. Actually, that was a broadcast to people that applied. I'll go in and do some broadcasts just like this that basically just says, hey, are you interested in a live training session? So you most likely got this that said yes now or yes at 12 p.m. or not today or never. And then it just puts them through that flow. And if I have enough people that say yes, they're interested in now, then we'll go in and do one right now. Or this one I scheduled for 12 p.m. And there was actually 9 people that responded to this that you can see by, I just went in and tagged them, and they're tagged that they wants training. I've actually tagged them wrong and said they wanted training tomorrow. So these people, you being one of them, said that they were interested in that. So then I sent them out a broadcast saying, hey, at 12, saying, hey, the training actually started. So any of these impromptu trainings also I'm recording, and these will all be replays that will be dropped into a content area where you guys will have access to be able to go in and watch these, because every one of them, some of them may be the same, because some people may want to do something that I did in some previous training, but most of the time, everyone's going to be unique, because everybody's going to be wanting to do something specific to their business and specific to their needs, and we'll go in and do exactly that thing. So yeah, I'll give you access to all of them. Can you get some water, please?
Awesome. Yeah, I must have responded. I didn't realize my way. Sometimes she'll jump on my MacBook Pro when she live streams. So she must have Facebook open with her account, and then when I clicked on the link, I have no idea. Anyway, when I entered your Zoom conference, I came through as her.
Right. Yeah, you clicked. I saw here that you clicked yes. Thank you. I saw here that you clicked yes. So whenever you did this, clicked yes at 12 p.m. That's literally what tagged you. That puts you basically into that flow that I just showed you from that broadcast that said, hey, you were interested in some training later on today.
Gotcha. Yeah, and then when I came through Zoom, it had her name, so that was weird, but at least I got in. I have not dived into ManyChat yet. Everything we have set up, she's done. So I'm kind of starting from scratch. I mean, conceptually, I understand, dealt with email automation, but not on a Facebook Messenger level yet.
Well, it's pretty straightforward, really. Once you get into learning it, it's pretty straightforward, and pretty much anything you could possibly want to learn how to do, I can teach you how to do, because for me it's really simple, because I have 2 degrees in engineering, so stuff like this is really, really simple for me because it's all a GUI, and I'll build these bots all custom just using the Messenger API through Facebook. So this becomes really easy for me to do. So I'm like, this flow right here, I built this flow in like 3 minutes to schedule these people, because I know exactly what I want to do whenever I build my flows. I know what my objective is and exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, I heard you mention that too, Charlie. That makes a lot of sense. If you're not clear what you want to do, then
if you're not clear what you want to do, then you don't want to be doing anything. You want to be planning. So even that's our approach whenever we build software. So whenever people come and hire my company to build software, we don't start building stuff until we know what to build. So until we know what to build, then at that point, we're just in a dialogue trying to figure out, what do you want us to build? What should we build? Now, once we have a clear picture of what you want built, once we have that clear picture, do you have his little dish? Once we have that clear picture, then it's good for us to go in and actually start building. Until then, it's literally just a waste of time to go in and start building things, because whatever you're doing is not going to be very, very efficient, because you're trying to figure out what you're doing while you're actually doing it, which is why I recommend that first you plan, get some piece of paper and a pencil, and you just go in and wireframe out and diagram out what your flow should be, how your flow is actually going to work, just like I would have done here. Now, did I go in and actually wireframe this out? No, but I'm not like most people, and that wireframe I can do in my head while I'm actually building things out. So if you're capable of doing that, if you're capable of thinking at such a fast level that you can have all this in your brain mentally and you don't have to put it out, then you don't need to do that. But if you can't do that, then you should go in and actually figure out and write out, hey, this flow, what should this flow look like? What am I trying to accomplish there? And once you do that, then you can go in and just quickly build this flow out relatively fast.
Awesome. And do you build from this flow first, or do you so got a new phone? I don't know how to shut this reminder off. Holy crap. All right. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
It won't shut off. What the hell? It's the whatever. I think I got it. Yeah, at some point, not on a recorded call, I'd like to have a conversation with you a little bit more in detail about what our business does, and what kind of better understanding of what your company does and how you support your how you scope out projects and work with clients.
Yeah, so
to find out, is it all custom built, or do you have I see you got softwares, you got great softwares. I have no idea how to integrate that with what I do here. So I didn't upsell into that because
right, that's fine, because you don't know if they're useful to you. Yeah, and that's completely fine.
And if so, that's awesome. I mean, right now we're just trying to. Anyway, were you able to stop the recording for the purposes of the training?
Yeah. So let me just go ahead and tell you about us and what our company does, and I can leave that on the recording in case somebody else finds it useful, and then I'll just stop the recording. And yeah, I can stop it without ending the meeting. So basically what we do is we're a software firm. So the biggest thing that we do is software development. That's the main thing that we do. We don't do design. We don't do marketing. We do software development. So How we scope out projects, well, that's kind of relative. Most of the time, we don't actually scope out projects because most of the time, most of our resources, I would say 70% of my resources are engaged with another software development firm. So another software firm comes in and they hire our developers whenever they have overflow work and they don't want to spend $150,000 or $170,000 to onboard a new full-time software engineer at their company because they have an extra 200 or 300 hours worth of work that they need done and they don't have anybody free to do it. So at that point, what they do is they come in and they hire somebody from our company, they hire somebody from my company to do the additional overflow work as a contract developer. So now they can just pay for the hours that that person works and they don't have to go in, put them on payroll and then go in and provide their insurance and give them a 1-year contract, yada, yada, yada. So most of the work we don't actually ever scope out because most of the work comes from a software firm and they've already scoped everything out with their client. So whenever we take on a non-software firm, so whenever we take on a client, let's say like you that just has their own business, you're not a software firm. How we scope out stuff is we first have in-depth requirement analysis with you. So we just go through, we talk like we're about to do right after I talk here and I shut this recording off. We go through and talk about your business. What does your business do? What pain points are there in your business? What could software do for you? How could you leverage automation? What things could you automate that you have right now? What could a possible software, is there some concept of a mobile app that would be really beneficial to you? Is there something you could do from a web app? Is there something that your website could be doing for you that you're not currently doing? So we look at all those things. And then if we're going to end up building a web application or a mobile application for you, well, then at that point, we have to have a lot more additional conversations to figure out what is this application going to do? How is it going to work? So we figure all that out. And then basically what we do is we give you kind of like a rough estimate that we use a Fibonacci sequence to come up with a low and high range, and whatever it's going to cost to build whatever we're building from you is guaranteed to be somewhere in that range. Now, if you agree that your budget falls somewhere within that range, then you're going to pay an initial down payment. And then from that down payment, we're going to come up with a full SRS, the software specifications requirements, which is going to outline each and everything that the software is going to do that we build. Once we outline that, we'll present that to you. Once you actually sign off on that and say, yeah, this is exactly what we talked about, this is exactly what I want, then we'll take the SRS and we'll translate that into an actual project plan that will lay out the timeline, how much work is going to be involved. It will give you a more refined budget, a more refined time estimate that says, okay, before we had this range, let's say from 10,000 to 25,000, which is a very common range for a software project, even though it seems like there's a huge gap. Because like I say, we use a Fibonacci sequence, which allows us to come up with the best case and a worst case so that we know that whatever it's going to cost to build your software will be somewhere within that range. So once from there, like I said, once you agree to the budget, we come up with the SRS. Once you sign off on the SRS, we go in and we actually build out the full project plan, which now condenses that budget to a very, very small range to show you, hey, since now we know exactly what we're going to build, and we've removed all the ambiguity from things, we can be a lot more specific in how much time this is going to take to build in production hours and in total delivery hours. Because if we say something's going to take 40 hours worth of production, well, that may not necessarily mean that you're going to realize that in a week. It may be 3 weeks that it's going to take us to actually give you that 40 hours worth of development. So we outline all that in the actual project plan. It outlines how many production hours are going to be involved, how many actual delivery hours, when you should expect to see these things delivered. And then we come up with the project plan broken down into milestones so that we can go in and actually do reporting to see if we're on track, if we're on schedule, if we're not. And then from there, once you take that project plan, if you agree to that, then we actually commence on the development. We do what's called breaking ground, and then we go in and actually start the development.
Awesome.
So let me just go ahead and stop this recording.